on everyone. So, a lot of questions about LeBron James this offseason. So far, there is this big looming question of did LeBron James get foot surgery or not? Now, LeBron James himself said that if he did, no one would know about it and he would be ready for training camp, right? But we haven't gotten the usual workouts, right? We haven't gotten a lot of the things that you typically see from LeBron in the offseason. What we've gotten is like Coach LeBron, but he also hasn't been wearing like a boot or anything like that that would signal like, oh, he's hurt. But at the same time, it's like, well, he's also uh was able to play 40 minutes a game on that foot. So maybe he doesn't really need a boot, even if he did get surgery, right? Like, but it's this big looming question. I get comments about it all the time where people are like, have you heard anything about LeBron James? Like, what's going on with LeBron? And so I get it. And I'm curious myself. But we had Rob Pelinka talk about LeBron and kind of give us a little bit of an update, not in regards to surgery, but just like LeBron himself saying that, hey, LeBron is behind the scenes working out. He is behind the scenes doing what he needs to do to get ready for this season. But even that is kind of like, okay, right? But like, is that the truth? Is that like the cover up? Because look, if LeBron got foot surgery, there's no way that the Lakers organization doesn't know about it. The media isn't going to find out about it. Like, he would only have told Rob Pelinka and Jeannie, and that's probably it. Right? Like, nobody in that entire organization probably knows except for Rob and Jeannie. And if that information gets out, he knows exactly who to go to. Okay, Rob and Jeannie can't be trusted. I guarantee you, if he did, nobody else is going to know about that except for Rob and Jeannie Buss. So, the question is, it boils down to, do you put your tinfoil hat on and look at it as like, it's a big conspiracy, right? Like, Rob Pelinka is just saying what he has to do to cover tracks for LeBron James, or is it the truth? Like, LeBron is putting the work in. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, right? Like, he could have foot surgery and still doing activities, right? Like, he might even need to do some activities, right? To build strength and whatnot, right? But also, like if he just, say he has to take it easy on his foot, that doesn't mean he can't do certain workouts and stick to a certain regime. So, I mean, both can be true. And we have seen LeBron kind of out and about, right? We saw him and Rajon Rondo coaching his son, and you see Coach LeBron, and he's been very active out there in fatherhood and being a parent, as he always is. But usually you get the workout videos or posts, or those questions about like, hey, like, here I am, in the lab once again. He also could just be taking a break, right? He is coming off of that injury. Maybe he doesn't need surgery, and he's just like, look, I'm at the end of my career. I'm going to be 39, right? Like, I take care of my body. I do what I need to do. Like, I could use a little break, right? I've been killing myself every year for, the last 20 years. Like, it's time for me to just kind of take a step back. Let me go play dad. Let me go play coach. Let me go do my thing. We know he likes the roster because he told us so, right? And even Rob Pelinka talked about that. He's like, it was really nice to see LeBron kind of give the okay on the roster and kind of give the nod of like he's excited for the roster, even though I don't really buy that. You're telling me you built that whole roster and didn't talk to LeBron about any of it? LeBron said he stays out of it, but I don't buy that. I'm not saying LeBron has a hand in who Rob Pelinka is signing, right? But I do think that they at least like talk to LeBron and are like, hey, we're looking to sign Taurean Prince, right? How do you feel about that? Kind of gauge. LeBron might not be the be all end all. Like, if LeBron's like, I don't like Taurean Prince, they might, if they like Taurean Prince, they might not say like, oh, well, okay, we're not going to sign Prince. But I just don't see them making roster moves without letting LeBron James and Anthony Davis know. I mean, Rob Pelinka even said that they had conversations with Anthony Davis about like the roster, and one of the reasons that they brought Jackson Hayes in. And the reason for that was because, they wanted to see, talk to Anthony Davis about playing the 5 and playing alongside other bigs and kind of going back to that 2020 model. So there's no way they're talking to Anthony Davis and they're not talking to LeBron James about it. I don't buy that for a second. But, we know he likes the roster. We know that they upgraded the roster and they put good position. LeBron James is in good position. You would think that he has to be looking at this roster and going, man, like I could win here, right? Like this might be my best opportunity. This is one of the, in my opinion at least, one of the deepest teams LeBron has ever been a part of. Like this team is stacked for LeBron James. Like if this was 27-year-old LeBron James, the Lakers probably win the next 5 NBA championships, right? Like, but I do think that this gives them a real opportunity. And, look, LeBron James knows his body, he knows his mind, he knows everything more than anybody else, right? So if he says, look, I'm going to go have surgery, I'll be ready for training camp, then I trust that he's going to go have surgery and be ready for training camp. He's talked to all these doctors, he's done the ins and outs, right? But it is a little curious, right? It's like, and the fact that Rob Pelinka had to mention that. Because like, when has that ever happened? When has somebody been like, oh yeah, LeBron's actually, like that's LeBron's whole thing. Everyone knows LeBron James puts in the work. Everyone knows that LeBron James is, puts millions of dollars into his body every year and is just training like a madman and doing all that stuff. So why do you have to make that a point is what's a little like just, interesting. Again, it could just be straightforward. Rob Pelinka's getting asked questions and, getting asked about LeBron and how does he feel and, how does he look? And obviously everyone knows like, hey, he's, he had this foot injury, he very likely needed surgery. What's going on with that? Like, there's the curiosity and the questions and the media and all that stuff. And Rob's got to kind of navigate that and figure that out and, make sure he doesn't say anything that's could potentially be damning or, have LeBron upset. So, I mean, it's kind of like, it almost felt like kind of like a throwaway thing. Like, yeah, well, hey, LeBron is working out behind the scenes, and he's doing what he needs to do and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. It just kind of seemed like the pandering to the audience, so to speak. Like, let me just throw something out there so people don't lose their minds. And look, like LeBron is showing face. He's Coach LeBron out there, and we haven't seen him in a walking boot or any of that. But look, if the injury was as bad as it was said to be, and he really does indeed need to have surgery, then I do imagine that he does. That actually happens. I do imagine that he goes and has the surgery, he gets it done. It very likely will be a routine procedure. My question is, how does it affect him going forward? Right? Like, how does LeBron, like, if he does have to have surgery, does he start having foot problems this year and next year and whatever, however long he's in the league? Because that could be the difference between the Lakers winning an NBA championship or not, right? If LeBron James ends up, having to sit out every 2-3 months because his foot's bothering him, that become a problem, right? And we've seen many players just start having those like injuries, and then whether it's the knee or the foot or whatever, the Achilles or whatever, and then it changes them as a player. Like, LeBron's lucky because he's in a position where he has a deep roster. He has a lot of talent. He's not going to have to play 40 minutes a game. The Lakers aren't going to start 2-10 to where he has to, basically kill himself every night to try to get back to just being a play-in team. Like, no, the Lakers should be good. They should be anywhere from, my guess is the 4 to 6 seed. And the only reason I think that is because I think you have young teams that are going to want to prove something. And then also I think you're going to have, the Lakers who don't really care. They just want to get to the playoffs, right? They don't want to be a play-in team. They just want to get to the playoffs, right? So as long as they finish the 6th seed, they care less, right? They just want to get everyone healthy, have LeBron James and Anthony Davis ready to go, and they're golden, right? That's kind of my guess. That's where I think we're at. But anyways, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think of LeBron? Do you think that he's had surgery? Do you think he hasn't? What do you think of Rob Pelinka's comments? Do you think it's odd that we haven't really seen any of like the typical LeBron workouts? You think he's just kind of resting his body? Look, I don't mind. He deserves the rest. Like, if he wants to take a month off or whatever, so be it, right? Because he takes care of his body. You know that he's going to be all right. You know that he's going to ramp it up and he's going to be ready for the regular season. Like, you don't have any doubts, any question marks, any concerns when it comes to LeBron James. So, I mean, LeBron could take the next 2 months off, and I would still believe that he'll be fine for the regular season. It's just, has he had surgery? Does he need to have surgery? Will he have surgery? Like, how does this play out? What is the end result end up looking like? And, will it affect him over the course of the season? Because that's my biggest concern, is that he just starts having foot injuries and foot issues for the rest of his career, which, I don't know, he was able to play through it, right? But he wasn't himself. He wasn't the LeBron we saw pre-foot injury. And that's something that I think is a little concerning. But anyway, again, love to your thoughts and opinions, however you feel about it. Let me know down in the comment section below.